Hey everybody, I'm back. So it's been a couple weeks since my last budgeting video, which is right on schedule considering I get paid bi-weekly, but it feels like it's been a really long time since I've done a video. I think it's because I've been playing around with some editing software so I can do better videos. Not so much for this because I usually take them in one take, as you can tell, because all my mistakes are in there. But I did one from when I was kayaking that my editing software that I have right now, I just use the free stuff that came with my computer, so it kind of sucks. And then I went and I did a hike at Bunsen Lake and I really wanted to do a better video, so I've been testing out different software and I made one and I kind of like it, but until I actually pay for it, if I put it out there, it's going to have like the watermark from the software company on it. And I thought if it was little and just in the corner, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's massive and it takes up like half of the screen. So I think it's just because I've been playing with that it feels it's been a while. I don't know. This was a really long introduction for something that doesn't actually matter. So this is my budget for my August 28th paycheck. I'm using a different pen today because I am childlike and it's one of those ones that has all those different colors that you can push down. I don't know why. I just felt like using it, and you know, just use what you want, right? So the balance of my account is not what I am happy with to start with. So at the end of my last budgeting video, I had like a couple $100 as a safety net, and I was super proud because I paid off that huge line of credit and I had this safety net, so it wasn't even like the final payment on it put me into kind of I'm a little bit squeezed until the next paycheck. So I was like, I got this. And then I went online shopping for like various things, none of them actually important or like life needing, except in the moment I was really like, well, I've done this thing, I paid off this debt, don't I deserve a little bit of a treat? So I gave myself a little bit of a treat in the sense that I bought, I think, 3 sweaters and 1 t-shirt, and I bought them all from random companies that advertise to me on Facebook, which means of course they're never going to stop advertising to me again, and I've only received one of them and it was ridiculously small. The sizing was completely off, so now I don't have strong hopes for the rest of them. But yeah, so lesson learned: if you're going to treat yourself because you paid off a chunk of debt and you're super proud, pick one thing. Don't just keep shopping because you think that, you know, you're fine because you have a safety net, because you'll burn through the safety net. Yeah, okay, sorry, that is my rant, and it's more at me than any of you guys because I'm sure that you are not doing the same thing. So we put half my rent aside, of course, and then I actually have to remember on the first to pay my rent, which I'm actually usually pretty good at, but usually the final paycheck of the month comes so close to the day that rent is due that I sometimes just do it all then, but it was a little bit too far away this time. So because my line of credit got paid off, now I need to focus on paying off my credit card, which had like all those car repairs on it, and then I also have to start building up my sinking funds because I have various yearly bills due that are going to be coming up in the next month to 3 months that I haven't been saving for because I was putting all my money onto that debt. So we're going to start doing that. You're going to start seeing that. So I already did the math to figure out how much I have to put aside for all of the different things. So I need to put aside $60 this paycheck because I have to pay for my WordPress domain pretty soon. I have a blog. I don't think I've ever actually mentioned that on here. It's theamazingshrinkingwoman.com. It is hosted on WordPress if you were ever interested. It's got that name because I started it a bajillion years ago when I was on a weight loss journey, and it made sense. And it's not really about weight loss anymore or even healthy living necessarily anymore. It's just about whatever I feel like talking about because people seem to think that I'm funny in writing. So I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy the writing. I kind of wish I could turn it into, you know, a job. But as it is, it's just my fun little WordPress blog hobby. So also I had to put $42 aside because my Norton antivirus is going to be due for renewal coming up. So $781.49 is what I'm left over, and I have to take away $64 to put in for my tenant insurance, which is due towards the end of October. Yeah. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I'm all of a sudden magically not needing a calculator when I always need one before, it's because I actually had a cell phone bill, well, have a cell phone bill that's due quite soon. It's always due just a couple of days past the first of the month. And when I was thinking about my budget, I'm like, yeah, if I don't actually do the payments for things until somewhere on the weekend, then it takes like 3 business days to process, and my payment might show up to them late. So a little bit past midnight, Thursday night, when my paycheck went in, I was like, okay, I'll just go and I'll put in the payment for the bill, like for that cell phone bill, and then I don't need to worry about it because it gives it ample processing time. But I may have been a tad tipsy. There could have been a lot of beer in my system at that moment in time, and I had the brilliant plan that I can budget when I have a lot of beer in me. Of course I can. Of course I can. So budgeting happened while I was sitting on the floor, drunk, in pajamas, I believe. Yeah, it was really classy. So I actually have a list just out of camera range that's got all of my math already figured out. And when I was sober the next day, I double checked it, and it's actually right. So go drunk me, go. Not that I actually endorse, being drunk when budgeting. I think it's just because my budget is so like simple, I guess, and I'd already calculated out how much money I had to put aside for certain things. So it's really just plugging it all in and hoping I have enough to cover it all. Yes. Okay. So I have calculated out the payment to be made every single paycheck to go towards the Visa. Now, the Visa debt, I actually moved it over to that beautiful line of credit that I had paid off, which makes me sad, but that was the whole plan. I knew it was going to happen. So here I'm putting Visa to line of credit just because it is the first time I'm doing this after that line of credit getting paid off to zero, but going forward it's just going to say line of credit again, because I do use the Visa very minimally now, but for like a couple things here or there, or I have like my Apple subscription, which is like $1 and change that goes on to there. And oh, excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause. To you, it's just going to be seamlessly horrible editing. My cat was getting sick. The poor little guy, he ate too fast. And so I had to first rush to make sure he was getting sick on the kitchen floor, not the carpet, because, the carpet is always the carpet. And then I had to give him a little bit of comfort, because poor little guy, his tummy can't feel so good. So, yes, okay. I am very sorry, but I'm probably going to end up repeating some stuff I just said, because I don't remember exactly what I just said. So the Visa line of credit thing. The line of credit that I owed over 10 grand on, that's paid off. The Visa balance has now been moved over to the line of credit. So for this first payment, I'm just going to show it as like a Visa to line of credit to, because it's the first one after I paid it off. But going forward, it's just going to show as a line of credit that I'm paying, because I know, and you know, that the line of credit was initially paid off. The 10 grand was gone. This is a different debt, so it needs to be treated differently, and it does not count against me in the whole paying off of the 10 grand thing. I don't know, I'm really touchy about it, so just, work with me here. Yes, and I also, I think this is what I was saying, that I do use the Visa for some things, like my monthly subscription for Apple, for my cloud. What else? I used to use it for Crave, but I canceled Crave. I really can't think of what else I use it for right now. I know I have another, I think my Amazon Prime membership goes monthly and it goes onto it, I think. But I also, a lot of my things, like my yearly bills, so say my tenant insurance, I think that actually bills to the credit card, and then I just pay the credit card off, things like that. So and even my WordPress, actually, I know for sure my WordPress, because they're sending me an email freaking out because my credit card that they have on file is expired, because I never give them the new one. So yeah, so there's all these things that go to the Visa card, so there will be debt getting paid off of it occasionally, and at least every month that Apple Cloud, but of course it'll always be more. I'm always going to end up having more than just like the $1 and change on there, because hello, I'm human. But yes, so that, again, a lot of explaining for something that really didn't need so much talking. Sorry about that, guys. All of that, I think, that nattering started all because I was trying to explain why I didn't have a calculator with me. I should have just, not had one and pretended I was magically good at math all of a sudden. Student loan, because of course. they have started emailing me again, reminding me that soon we're going to have to start making payments again. And if I'm late with payments or if I owe them money, I better basically get my ass in gear and get it to them before the payments like officially start. Yeah, they're just so friendly. And my cell phone, which this is the whole reason for the drunk budgeting. And it's more than normal because last month when I went to Revelstoke, burned through my data like crazy because the place we stayed in had absolutely horrific Wi-Fi. And then when I got back, I was only back a couple days, and I was getting a thing being like, hey, you're almost at the end of your data, like, do you want to top up, blah blah blah. And so I topped up, and so it bumped up my bill for the remainder of that billing cycle, and then for the next one, because you couldn't do it just for the remainder of that cycle. You had to do it for like at least a full one and then the remainder of the one that you were in, which kind of sucks because regularly I don't go through that much data. But oh well, it is what it is, and I think it was better to top it up than to not potentially go over, and who knows what that would have cost. So a friend at work is getting married. Wait, today? He's getting married today? Oh my goodness. Yeah, today. And so we were all putting money in for a present. So I included that. And then 25. Now this is like the actual Visa. This is a payment to the actual Visa, not a Visa, but really a line of credit. Because I think I had a balance on there of like $50, so I figured pay half of it, and then next paycheck pay the rest of it off. I'm fine with it sitting with a little bit of a balance for now. I'm hoping that it won't normally, but we'll see. Yeah, okay. And then I'm guesstimating I'll need $200 for gas. And I decided to give myself $100 for like food, etc., which is leaving me with a safety net of $64.09, which I'm not soup scumfy about. But what are you gonna do? I mean, there's only so much money because of all that stupid shopping I did that took away from my safety net for last paycheck. This is what happens. So now I have to go and be like super strict. I did get an Ebates check, so I deposited a whopping $14.14. I know, crazy, right? Normally that, if you recall from the line of credit payment stuff, that would have automatically gone as a payment onto the line of credit because any extra money goes onto the big debt to get rid of it. But because this is so tiny, it makes me nervous. So I actually just deposited it into this account. And I know you might be thinking $14 does not make that big of a difference. Like, you might as well just put it onto the debt. Or you might be thinking $14 doesn't make that big of a difference. You might as well keep it and not put it onto the debt. Either way, I get it. It's $14. It's not making a world of difference. But you know, I mean, like last paycheck, when I was looking at my bank account at one point leading up to this paycheck, the one that I just did all this for, I think I had like $20 in my account, and it freaked me out having it so low, especially when my sinking funds aren't funded. So it's not like I had money to just pull out of somewhere else if there's some sort of a financial emergency hit. You know what I mean? Like, I cleared everything out to pay off that debt, and I'm not upset about it at all. But now I'm in like this rebuilding phase, and I just need to remember that just because that 10 grand debt is gone doesn't mean that I can stop being careful. I have to still be careful. Yeah, okay, I just keep sort of lecturing, and I don't mean it at you guys at all. The lecture is really more for me to remind me that I'm not done yet. There's still more to finish here. There's a journey and all that, you know? I was thinking I might do a video showing how I broke down how I came up with these different amounts, as well as the payment, like that payment onto the line of credit again, just in case anybody was interested. But I'm going to do that on a separate video because I'm pretty sure this one has become too long already for a bi-weekly budgeting video. So I hope everybody has a really great day. Go out, enjoy some sunshine if you have some. And yeah, stay safe out there, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.